Libby, this morning we received an email from Ted Shapiro asking for our help. The creek next to his house, which had been flowing since he purchased his home over 35 years ago, had gone dry, and he wants it back.
How many years can you remember where there wasn't any water in the creek?
One.
Which year's that?
This last year.
Loosely speaking, Ted Shapiro used to be the owner of some waterfront property. He now lives next to a miniature canyon without a creek.
You'd be amazed how much wildlife there was in the creek. You know, I would say turtles swimming by and little bitty fish.
Ever since last April, the water has stopped, leaving little more than rocks and a few weeds to look at. In the meantime, Ted has contacted the city of Fairborn and eventually the BW Greenway Community Land and Trust to find out what was going on.
The wetland people just were not cooperative at all. They said, our first duty is for the wetland, and the beavers are natural creatures, and you cannot come in and take out our beaver dams.
With the Hebel Creek wetlands slowly being restored to their natural wetland state, many of the residents had been blaming beavers for the problem. But after a few calls, it turns out the beaver dams were old and not restricting the flow of water. Instead, the problem lies with the aquifer.
Once it hits the wetlands and moves out into the Mad River Valley to the west, the soils become sandier, and the water is able to drop down through the stream channel to the groundwater table underneath. It kind of goes underground. The water table in this particular year tends to be kind of low this year, so there's a tendency for the water in the stream channel to go down into the aquifer and disappear.
Now, unfortunately, there's very little the residents of Fairborn can do. The best time of year for the aquifer to recharge is during the winter when the water doesn't run off or evaporate as quickly. So all we can do is sit back and wait for the snow. Reporting live, Eric Zarnage, 2 News on your side.
For the snow?
All right.
Okay,
well, it's coming soon, isn't it? That's what Brian said. Thank you, Eric.